Alright, so welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I actually wanted to talk more about the financial side of fashion. So recently a lot of luxury conglomerates have released their financial reports for Q1, and Q1 means quarter one, so the first 3 months of the year. And by law, major corporations are supposed to submit a financial report every single quarter of the year. So it's always a big thing when companies release their financial reports because people are very curious, like how are they doing, how much revenue are they earning. So in today's video, we're going to get into a lot of the numbers. One of the reports that caught the attention of a lot of people in the industry is the Kering Q1 report, and the reason is because of the specifics of the numbers going up and down. So if you aren't familiar with what Kering is a luxury conglomerate company basically, and they own many different fashion brands, brands like Bottega, Veneta, Balenciaga, Gucci, and many more brands. So for Q1, Kering reported a 15.4% decrease in revenue when compared to Q1 in 2019, which is crazy. And I think going into why this happened, the first brand we need to talk about is Gucci, because Gucci is the cash cow of Kering. Gucci makes some of the most money for Kering. So really, Kering's financial reports is very highly based on like how Gucci does in a year. It's the same thing with LVMH. Louis Vuitton makes most of their money, so how Louis Vuitton does financially determines how LVMH does financially, essentially. So in 2019, in Q1, Gucci made a revenue of $2.52 billion. And then in 2020 Q1, they made a total revenue of $1.96 billion. So as you can see, the revenue has gone down by more than $500 million, which is a lot of money to lose for the brand Gucci and for Kering as a conglomerate. And that's probably one of the main reasons their revenue has gone down by 15.4% when compared with last year. Now, of course, I did a lot of digging. So I looked into what are the possible reasons as to why Gucci lost so much revenue when compared to last year. And of course, the first obvious reason is COVID-19. With the coronavirus, suppliers, factories are shut down, so orders can't be fulfilled, shipping takes longer, physical stores are closed, and part of being a luxury brand is people want to try on the clothes, people want people to fit them in the clothes. There's a lot of luxury stores where when you buy a garment, you can actually have it tailored in store for you. So there's many different services as to why people prefer to buy really expensive garments in store as opposed to online. So they're losing a big market in terms of in-store sales. And of course, there's the effects that COVID-19 has had on people's personal incomes. So because people aren't really earning money anymore, people are prioritizing what they spend their money on. So people would smartly rather spend money on more essential things like food, water, things that are actually essential at this time, as opposed to luxuries and things that aren't so essential, like Gucci, for example. So Gucci has really taken a hit from COVID-19, and that's one of the big reasons. Another reason, when I did some research, was actually Gucci has had less of a focus on wholesaling, and they've actually deliberately pulled a lot of their clothing from many different stores. This wholesaling business is quite complicated, and luxury brands kind of play this interesting game where, and we're talking about Gucci specifically, so I'll go back to Gucci. Gucci has to balance not wholesaling too much because they want to earn money, because everyone will buy Gucci because Gucci sells. So everyone who owns a store wants Gucci in their store, because having Gucci in your store, there's that association, and then it's going to sell most of the time. So everyone would want to buy Gucci. So Gucci have to make the decision, if we sell our garments in that store, is it going to water down our brand? If we sell it in this store, is it going to help us see more luxury? And they have decided in recent years, especially between last Q1 and this Q1, that there's too much Gucci in circulation. So they've actually deliberately stopped selling their garments to certain stores, and they've pulled their clothing from certain stores. So this clearly means that Gucci is more in this phase of kind of pulling garments away from the market so that there's not too much in circulation, and so they can continue to appear luxury. And it's a very, very, very complicated industry. There's like so much research. There's people called buyers who buy all these garments and they crunch the numbers, and it's a really analytical job. And they always have to consider things like that, because brands like, let's say, Michael Kors and Marc Jacobs. Michael Kors and Marc Jacobs are two legendary designers. However, with their more diffusion line stuff, they sold it to too many places too quickly to make too much money too fast, and they weren't thinking of the longevity of it. And now people associate Marc Jacobs and Michael Kors bags with like discount stores and just like cheap stores. So now they can't really command a high price for their garments anymore, which is quite sad. But yeah, I find it quite fascinating that Gucci was willing to deliberately sell in less stores just so that they could protect their brand image and the luxury bravado of Gucci, for lack of a better term. But something that I found even more interesting about Kering's Q1 report was actually Bottega Veneta. And the reason is because Bottega Veneta, the way they've done their business model is the complete opposite to Gucci, and I'll go into the reasons why. It makes perfect sense, but it's just fascinating. So I've got the numbers here with me, and in 2019, in Q1, Bottega Veneta made 271.86 million, and in 2020 Q1 they made 297.11 million. So this year they've made about almost 30 million more revenue than last year. And obviously that's a lot of money, but not even close to like Gucci numbers. It's in the billions. Bottega Veneta is like in the millions, in the hundreds of millions. But yeah, Bottega Veneta, like I said, they've had a completely different business model to Gucci. So Bottega Veneta is actually wholesaling with more stores. They're selling their product to more stores. They're trying to get their product out there, which is interesting. And I think since Daniel Lee, and for guys who don't know, Daniel Lee is the new creative director. Well, not new, but he's been there for a little while. And he's the current creative director at Bottega Veneta. Since he's come in, yes, he makes amazing collections, but I think he's had a really good focus on accessories and footwear. And ultimately, I think Daniel Lee won Accessories Designer of the Year last year. So you can see that there's a big focus on accessories. And everyone knows in luxury fashion, the clothing is what helps the brand appear luxury, but it isn't what sells. It's just all that luxury and the whole fashion week and all those shows allow it to be positioned in a luxury way, and then they can sell perfumes and like charge loads, and sell bags and charge loads, and sell shoes and charge loads. And it's normally bags, perfumes and footwear that sells the most, and accessories in general. And if there's anything we know about Bottega Veneta of recent, Bottega Veneta have been killing it with accessories. So many people have been buying Bottega pouches, bags, the footwear, the chunky boots, and that's where Bottega has been making a lot of their money. So I'm not surprised that actually between Q1 last year and this year, that of course they've had an increase in revenue. I think what is insane about it is, despite the effects of COVID-19, they've been selling accessories so well, and they've been doing so well in the accessories part of it, that they haven't like lost money financially compared to last year. I think that's quite interesting. But yeah, on that note, comment down below what your thoughts are on these numbers. Let me know if you want me to talk more about the business side of fashion, because it is, to be fair, it's something I want to talk about more. I remember someone did comment. One of the reasons I actually made this video, shout out to whoever sent me this message. Someone said, someone was telling me that I've worked in the industry all this time. And of course, I know a lot about the business side and what goes on behind the scenes, like logistically. So they wanted me to talk more about it. So I thought, yeah, this would be a good video to make. Kering's Q1 report just came out. But yeah, on that note, follow me on Instagram at Fashion Roadman. You can also follow me on Twitter at Fashion Roadman. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and stay tuned for more videos.